Hey everyone, hope you're enjoying this evening. It's Jim with Pash Fitness and coming here with the fourth part of my blog series about parenting. Now, this one is titled, is basically dealing with time. And I have to be honest with you, this is a tough one for me to talk about because of my personal experiences with time. And so bear with me. I'll try not to get emotional or anything like that. But when people ask, what is the most important thing that you did with your kids, um, to help them get along in school or help them be good readers, help them be good socially and all that stuff. Well, I think it all comes down to basically the amount of time that my wife and I spent with our boys directly and guiding them and teaching them about things that we valued and what we felt that they should really focus on during their days. Now, the thing is, through our lives, we have lots of things that get in our way, lots of concerns that we have. And like most people in middle America, we struggled with finances, so there often had to be choices on what to do with our time. So some occasions when the kids had events, I might have had to stay at work, especially at the times when I was the only income in the house. And that was something that I justified as, had to be done. And I did it for the family, but we sacrificed. My son sacrificed that time. I sacrificed that time with them, all with the, mindset that this had to happen and that I didn't have a choice. Well, fast forward through the years, and, I also am a soccer referee. I've done professional level soccer reffing, which meant to do that whole journey was a lot of time away from home, traveling to tournaments without my family. I went to Florida twice without my kids, and I felt a lot of guilt and all that. But my wife was very supportive. And so at the end of it, though, when we talk about being parents, that time was away from my kids and their events and the things that were going on in their lives, having discussions with them. I wasn't doing that. The best times that we had when they were little, for example, would be reading to them every night. The one thing I made sure, even when I was working late shifts, was coming home and they'd be waiting for me with their books, and then we would lay down together and we would read the books over and over and over again. And sometimes I'd fall asleep before the boys would. Those are some of my cherished moments, that I remember. As time has gone on, that time with the boys, they've had more interests, more things that pulled them away. I've had more hats that I've worn. My wife started working as well. So the time kind of went from so much time together to fleeting and less and less. And it's been difficult at times. I'm sorry I'm using that word so often, but it's been difficult in situations where you might think how close you are to your child, and then when you communicate with them, you find out you're not right, and you wonder, how did this happen? How did, after all these years, my perception as a parent, how could it be so off? And I wish that no one else ever has to feel that. I hope you don't feel that, and if you do, and you've gone through things, please share that with us, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people going through these transitions with their kids from when they're infants, toddlers, adolescents, and then young adults. So if I was trying to tell you what the purpose of this blog is, I guess it would be something you've probably heard from a lot of people, probably your own parents, and that is cherish every second you can with your children. Because seriously, guys, before you know it, the time goes by. You're going to be in my situation, if you haven't already gotten there, where you have a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old in your house. And the communication between the dynamics between all of us has changed. And trying to keep up with all that is a full-time job. So I would say, one, definitely cherish every single moment you can. Be honest with each other. Let your children know that you love them unconditionally. That even when they mess up, that you are there for them. That takes conversations and communicating with them over time. And that has to be a trust that has to be built between everyone. And the last thing I'll say is something that my mom actually used to tell me when she would do things that, like she would smoke cigarettes. And she would always say to us, don't ever smoke cigarettes. It's not good. It's not healthy. But she, even till today, smokes cigarettes. I would say, here's the biggest piece of advice. You know what? It's not what you say to your children. It's what you do. That's it. If you want to make sure your kids are healthy, then you need to model healthy lifestyle. If you don't want them to smoke, you probably should not smoke. Although all three, my brother, my sister, and I are non-smokers, and we had a family full of smokers. Maybe it's because we've seen the health problems from that. But typically, if you want your children to do something, you gotta act that way as well. You gotta show it to them and demonstrate the philosophies that you're trying to pass on. So, again, I don't know if I give you any big, clear surprise ending to this, but time is valuable and it goes by way faster than you anticipate, especially when you're in the middle of it and you're bombarded by all the stresses of the school they go to, the sports they play in, all these things. It goes by too quick, and you don't want to have any regrets. Love your children, and have a great night. I hope this was beneficial to you all. Take care.